What's up, everyone? Zach Pieper, lead adventurer here at Team Adventurous. And today I'm doing something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at some of the stuff around the grand jury that's come up as a result of the witch hunt to go after Trump. And we're going to look at some of the tweets that are part of the trending grand jury hashtag over here on Twitter. Or I don't know if it's a trending hashtag or just grand jury. I think it's just grand jury by itself is trending. A lot of the commentary going around is about Stephen Miller specifically. You can come over here to Wikipedia if you trust these fucking fascists, these censors. And I want to focus, though, on this video from this guy, Glenn Kirschner. I think I got his name right. I don't care if I didn't. I subscribed just because he's opposition and I want to pay attention to what the opposition is saying. Not because he has anything interesting to say, which we'll get to in a second. We're going to go through this video, which you have to play at least 1.25 speed, because otherwise his pace is aggravatingly slow. He talks with exaggerated pauses after saying something completely normal, like he has some kind of interesting dramatic flair. But really, he's just a fascist prick. All right. Let's start looking at this.
Well, it looks like the Department of Justice is turning its attention to one of Donald Trump's henchmen, Stephen.
Right away, he makes his bias clear. Right away, we find out that he has a personal bias against these people, because any impartial, serious lawyer would not refer to a political opponent as another person's henchman. What is this, a cartoon? I fucking hate that anyone would take this idiot seriously when that's the kind of thing he just casually says. Are you fucking kidding me? His henchman. Stephen Miller worked in the government under a legitimate president. He is not his henchman, you piece of shit.
Miller. Let's talk about that, because justice matters.
And by the way, just as a quick note, I agree, justice matters, but coming out of your mouth, it sounds like someone cramming a dog turd into my ear.
Hey all, Glenn Kirschner here. So it looks like Stephen Miller might be in some hot water. Stephen Miller.
You see how long that pause was with the elevated speed? That's what I'm talking about.
Miller. He seemed like such a nice young man. Said no human being ever.
Yeah, that's the caliber of commentary, folks. It doesn't get any better.
Here's the latest reporting from the New York Times. Headline, 2 top political aides among those subpoenaed in January 6th case. And that article begins, the Justice Department has subpoenaed 2 former top White House political advisors under President Donald Trump as part of a widening investigation related to Mr. Trump's post-election fundraising and plans for so-called fake electors, according to people briefed on the matter. Brian Jack, the final White House political director under Trump, and Stephen Miller, Mr. Trump's top speechwriter and a senior policy advisor, were among more than a dozen people connected to the former president to receive subpoenas from a federal grand jury this week. The subpoenas seek information in connection with the Save America Political Action Committee and the plan to submit slates of electors pledged to Mr. Trump from swing states that were won by Joseph Biden in the 2020 election.
Oh, that thing that literally every Democrat on Twitter and a bunch of Democrat politicians and a bunch of celebrities were all saying Democrats should do about the 2016 election. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that conversation. Yeah, what about it?
Now remember, friends, who was one of the public faces of the fraudulent elector scheme, the fake elector conspiracy? That's right.
Any political argument I disagree with is a conspiracy. Got it.
Stephen Miller. Here's some reporting in The Hill from back on December 14th, 2020, during the thick of the fake elector conspiracy, and just 3 weeks before Donald Trump ordered his supporters to attack the Capitol.
Blatant lie. Blatant fucking lie. But that's all these people have. They just keep lying in the hopes that people who haven't already swallowed the lie are going to swallow it. Trump's exact words: go forth and make your voices peacefully heard. Something to that effect. I might have mixed up a word or replaced a word there, but pretty much that. He emphasized peaceful demonstration several times. This guy's lying to your face. And I mean, just look at him. I mean, do you really expect to get the truth from someone who's looking at you like that? That's the kind of face I would expect someone to walk in a room and give me an ultimatum. Like, that is not someone who's trying to tell you the truth.
Here's The Hill reporting from back on December 14th, 2020.
I'm going to smarmily put on my glasses because I'm pretending to be smart.
Headline: Stephen Miller. Alternate electors will keep Trump election challenge alive. And that article begins: President Trump's allies are preparing to send an alternate slate of electors to Congress, senior White House advisor Stephen Miller said Monday, signaling Trump will drag out his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election even after the Electoral College certifies Joe Biden as the winner. So, friends, I have two observations. Actually, one observation and one question. First, the observation.
Oh boy, I
Boy,
can't
am
wait to hear them.
That the Department of Justice subpoenaed to the grand jury more than a dozen people connected to Donald Trump last week alone.
As someone who is a lawyer and should theoretically understand due process and understand the importance of, the government not intruding in people's lives unduly, you shouldn't be glad about that, but you're not actually interested in the law or justice. You're interested in going after people who disagree with you because you're a fascist.
There's a lot going on in the grand jury, and friends, it is building toward indictments.
Mark the date, people. The video says September 11th. Let's see if the bold statement, Cotton. Let's see if it pans out for him.
And now the question: is Stephen Miller a target of the grand jury's investigation? A target is defined as somebody who prosecutors have substantial evidence linking him to the commission of the crime.
What crime? What crime was committed? This is just like the Russiagate scandal. This is just like the Russian P-tape business. They accuse of a crime, and when the investigation is fully panned out and no one finds any crime, they just move on and pretend like it never happened. This is going to be exactly the same. Questioning an election is not a crime. Saying, I don't think this went down on the up and up, is not a crime. In fact, the right to do that is enshrined in the First fucking Amendment. Trump did not incite violence. There was no crime. He said protest peacefully. And he cannot be held accountable for Capitol Police pulling guardrails away and letting people through. Trump cannot be held accountable for the Capitol Guards opening the Capitol doors. Trump cannot be held accountable for Nancy Pelosi and others keeping the National Guard out of the city so that they can't help control the protest. Trump cannot be held accountable for those things. In fact, it's a clear demonstration that people were working against him and his political supporters. What crime was committed? Glenn? Yeah. What crime? I'm waiting to hear one. I'm waiting to hear any crime that Trump is actually guilty for in relation to this matter.
And the second element is that the person is a putative defendant. In other words, he's somebody that the prosecutors are looking to indict. Is Stephen Miller a target of the grand jury investigation? I will say we ordinarily don't subpoena targets, to the grand jury, but the U.S. Attorney's Manual, which is sort of our practice Bible as federal prosecutors, says that we can subpoena a target of an investigation to the grand jury as long as we get the requisite supervisory approval. So I'll ask it again, is Stephen Miller a target of the grand jury investigation? He damn well should be.
This person should be a target of an investigation, should be subpoenaed to Congress because he espoused an idea that I disagree with. You might as well flash a big neon sign across the front of your house that says, "I'm a fucking fascist." I would have supported Hitler if I was alive in his era, and damn well, I think Biden should be the next Hitler. Signed, Glenn. That's what the front of this guy's house should read. Big neon letters, maybe in a fancy font, just to capture the smarmy, smug essence of this piece of shit on screen.
You know why? Because justice matters.
Again,
friends,
hearing,
as always, please
hearing this
safe.
piece of
Please
shit
stay
say
safe.
that sounds like a dog turd being forcefully shoved in my ear. Fuck this guy. Now, moving on to things that aren't quite as infuriating. Grand jury is trending over on Twitter right now. And I think that, as usual, there's a lot of brain dead takes going around. For example, and excuse me, I don't think that, I know that. I can observe it with my eyes. Now, the DOJ has issued a sweeping grand jury subpoena to Women for America First, an organization who helped plan the January 6th rally. Yep, because patriots helping organize a protest are fucking... They're criminals, man. We gotta get them. We gotta do something about those patriots organizing peaceful protests. You know, fuck the riots in 2020. Absolutely fucking don't do shit about people burning down cities. But those January 6th protesters, we gotta get them. We'll hang them up by their bootstraps. God damn it. Amy Kremer, call your office. I couldn't think of a more deserving person to receive a grand jury subpoena for trying to overthrow the federal government. Our country was founded on trying to overthrow the government. I don't care if people were trying to overthrow the government. I couldn't give a shit less. Our government sucks. It's full of pedophiles, allegedly. Allegedly. And people who absolutely take every possible opportunity to fuck us over and enrich themselves. Every possible opportunity. I don't give a fuck if the government is overthrown. It needs to be fucking overhauled. We need a fucking house renovator to go in there and tear out all the rotten sheetrock, all of the rotten studs, break out the old busted up cabinets, redo all the plumbing. We need to tear this bitch down to the foundation, folks. Because the whole house is fucked. Breaking. Donald Trump flies to D.C. to appear before a grand jury and stops off at his Bedminster golf course to play golf while also paying his respects to his late ex-wife Ivana Trump, who is buried there. That's tasteful. That's just super tasteful. This is the tolerant left, folks. Trump golfing with the skull of his ex-wife. Yep. Yeah. Party of love and tolerance. That's what they are. You can bet all these guys will be getting grand jury subpoenas real soon. Close-up shot of Trump having a mysterious meeting. Yeah, because a lot of mysterious meetings are held in broad daylight, out in the open where people can observe, walk right up and ask what's going on. Don't you know? All the Illuminati meetings take place like this. Meanwhile, I'm sure Mike Singleton would claim that Bohemian Grove is a conspiracy theory. Nothing mysterious going on there. They look like they are in serious discussion and don't look happy. Who are these men? Yeah, I wouldn't be happy if my country was being run by pedophiles, allegedly, either. Can you identify any of them? So yeah, you guys get the idea. You guys get the idea. The sewage is churning and bubbling over on Twitter under the grand jury trend, and it's frankly it's enough to want to make you fucking vomit. Stephen Miller, the individual in question, has a Twitter right here. I followed when I found out about. I didn't even know who he was before this, but I hit the follow button after all of this was brought to my attention via scanning over what was trending on Twitter. So, yeah, I just wanted to point out how the left constantly tries to make something out of nothing, how they are constantly desperate, absolutely fucking desperate, to find some way to smear their opponents, to skew the facts, to misrepresent reality. I'm just gonna shift the fucking conversation just a little bit. I'm gonna use these words that aren't technically lies, but they're not true either, and sometimes they just flat out lie, like Trump inciting violence. It's like, dude, why is it? I understand free speech, but like there should be some kind of penalty, some kind of way to punish at least our public officials for knowingly lying. I get that freedom of speech is a thing, but if you say something that's just you outright know it's a lie and you're in public office, that feels a lot to me like you're trying to fuck with the American people for your own benefit. Like, if you're so sure of your position, shouldn't you be able to tell me the truth? If you're so confident that you're on the right side of this, shouldn't you be able to just tell the truth instead of constantly lying about what happened? But of course you can't do that because you're not on the right side of it, because you're a fucking fascist. This has been Team Adventurous. Thanks for being here. Sincerely appreciate y'all. Catch me in the next one. If you have anything you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. I'd absolutely love to take some suggestions on topics and stories to cover. I'm going to be releasing something very soon. It's a topic that's been talked about by a lot of other creators in this conservative space, and it's something that frankly cannot get talked about enough until everyone on the opposition side knows it. So I'm going to be making a video about John Money and what was the other guy? The other piece of shit that did horrible things to kids, and the left's gender critical ideology. That video is going to be coming out pretty soon. Alright, everyone. Thanks for being here. Until next time. Welcome to the adventure. I don't know why I keep doing that. Oh well.